So you want to start a successful YouTube channel, or maybe grow the channel you already have. Well, so do I. So over the past few months, I've poured through a lot of websites, blogs, I've watched influencers on YouTube.
If you're starting from the bottom, if this year has kicked your butt 20 times over, if you have a vision of what you want to create, but you have no freaking clue how you're going to get there, do I have a story for you.
Is it still possible to not only start a channel, but really to grow and to break out?
I want to share with you exactly what I would do if I were to start a YouTube channel today and wanted to get massive momentum fast.
And I'm going to give you 5 main tips that you're going to need to really succeed here on YouTube.
And attended a couple of virtual seminars and conferences. Most notably, Social Media Examiner's YouTube Marketing Summit, which was awesome, by the way. And I've distilled a lot of what I've learned about creating a successful YouTube channel into this video. Creating this video is step 1 for me, and I'm going to talk about some of the best reasons to put time and effort into undertaking this project. Talk a little bit about how YouTube works, and then I'll outline a 9-step strategy for making it all happen. Again, this is all stuff I've learned from other people, like Michael Stelzner, Deral Eves, Tim Schmoyer, and Cannell. And a lot of the content in this video is theirs, not mine. So I'm going to tell you what I've learned from these successful YouTube influencers. And I'm going to try it out to see if what these folks are telling us really works. I'll put links to their content in the description below so you can check them out and learn for yourself. And if you're not a video professional and you want to learn a lot more about making videos for your business, then you've come to the right place, because that's what this channel is all about. So hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get alerts when I post new content, and leave me a comment, good or bad. I promise I'll respond. Okay, so let's dive in. So why invest time and effort into YouTube? Let's look at some stats. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. YouTube is the second most visited internet site after Google. YouTube has more than 2 billion users who watch 1 billion combined hours of video per day. 70% of YouTube views come from mobile devices, with the average mobile viewing session lasting more than 40 minutes. And that last one, viewing sessions that last more than 40 minutes, is particularly important, and we'll talk about that shortly. So unsurprisingly, YouTube has a massive audience who watches a lot of video every day. Now let's look at some of the advantages that YouTube has over other social media. First, having a YouTube channel is like having a second website. It's a place to aggregate a bunch of content that people can subscribe and return to. And YouTube, of course, is all about video. It's about content, and it wants to keep people on the platform watching that content, while other platforms are more concerned with people actively connecting, not passively consuming. I want to play a clip of Michael Stelzner from Social Media Marketing World's 2019 keynote address here. Check this out.
And then in January 2018, Mark Zuckerberg decided he was going to change the rules. He said, quote, "I'm changing the goal. It's no longer about content. It's about meaningful social interaction." Shortly after that introduction of that change, Facebook comes out formally and says, "We are not about passive video consumption. We don't want you just going on Facebook and just watching video." As a matter of fact, Mark Zuckerberg's words are right here. Quote, "We made changes to show fewer viral videos to make sure your time is well spent. In total, those changes reduced time spent daily by 50 million hours a day." He stopped those videos from being watched. Another clue from Mark Zuckerberg. Quote, "We're trying to make Facebook a different experience than YouTube. We're trying to encourage meaningful social interactions rather than passive consumption." And referral traffic completely plummeted. Look at this chart. This is from Slate. In January of 2017, they were getting over 28 million monthly visitors from Facebook. Less than a year and a half later, In May of 2018, it dropped to just above 3 million people, an 87% decline in referral traffic. Facebook is now a content that thrives on people connecting, not on content. Not on content, not on content.
Facebook, not on content. Back to YouTube. Another advantage here is viewer intent. See, contrary to other social media channels where users swipe through content, with YouTube, as with your website, the user has an objective in mind. They're generally looking for something and actively searching on it. Now, that's very different than the way people use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. The objective can be finding a solution to a problem, like how to install a kitchen sink, improving a skill, like tips to edit video like a pro, or just to be entertained, like funniest cat moments. The point is, people are actively searching for content, not passively absorbing it. And here's an interesting statistic. Searches of how-to videos on YouTube are growing 70% year over year. Check out this chart. According to a survey conducted by the Pew Research Center way back in 2018, 51% of respondents said that using YouTube to figure out how to do things they haven't done before is very important to them. Personally, it's by far the #1 reason I watch YouTube multiple times a day. And speaking of viewer intent and search, how about this? Google, who owns YouTube, wants to send you to YouTube for video content, so Google serves YouTube video right alongside other search results. Users who do a search on Google often end up watching a video on YouTube.
So you want to know how to estimate construction projects as a general contractor. Well, in this video, I break it all down.
And in fact, many people, myself included, prefer to watch a video than reading a web page to get the information they're looking for. And when it comes to technical things like video production, software demos, etc., video works far better than text as a teaching tool. And how about engagement? YouTube provides the perfect opportunity to present long-form content, enabling you to deliver more detail, to educate your customers and build a following. And YouTube's algorithm is designed to help users find the right video to answer their question, and then keep them engaged and watching, to keep them on the platform. The YouTube recommendation algorithm determines 70% of what people watch, and most of those videos are longer than 10 minutes. The takeaway? Longer is better. Let's go back to Michael Stelzner for a moment. In this clip, Michael talks about how he discovered the value of using long-form video content on YouTube. He's talking about a particular video that he posted across social media that was more than 8 minutes long. Here's Michael.
Then I went and looked at the very same video that happened to be published on YouTube, and I noticed that they said your average watcher for this video is about 4.5 minutes. And you can see by this retention graph, they watch almost all the way to the end, 50%. I thought that was pretty good. And then I looked at Facebook. And it told me the average watch time was 11 seconds. 11 seconds. 11 seconds? Are you freaking kidding me? So then I put it into a little graph, and I said, okay, just for this one video, I'm going to do this. On Facebook, almost 21,000 views. Huge following on Facebook, over 500,000 people. YouTube, not so big a following. 2,500 views for the same video, so 88% less views on YouTube because obviously we don't have that following. But look at the 1 minute mark. On Facebook, only 776 people made it to the 1 minute mark. But as you can see on YouTube, more than half. And at the 2 minute mark, only 180 people made it to the 2 minute mark. But still over half made it to the 2 minute mark on YouTube. And then the end of the video, 19 people. Hopefully you're all here. And I looked at every single one of my videos, and they all had like 5-second to 15-second view durations. I realized at that moment that I had drank the bigger equals better Kool-Aid. I'd been mesmerized by the metrics. I thought 20,000 people meant 20,000 people, not 19. And then I remembered, Facebook doesn't want me watching passive video. And then I found this data by the Pew Research Center. Almost everybody who's on Facebook is also on YouTube. 1.9 billion people every month are on YouTube, watching 1 billion hours of video each day. I did the math, assuming they were on there every day, which we know they're not, 32 minutes of video duration every day on YouTube. Likely much higher, because we know we're not all on there every day. People spend a lot of time consuming video there. And here's what our data shows. Slightly more than half of you are utilizing YouTube, and you all know that those of you that are probably need to do more. So I'm here to tell you, YouTube is where your longer videos can and will be consumed. And I know this scares a lot of you, because a lot of you don't have any following on YouTube and you need to work at it.
Okay, so long form content is better on YouTube. Here's another YouTube advantage: syndication. YouTube isn't the end destination of your content, it's just the beginning. And unlike other social media, YouTube makes it extremely easy for your content to be shared through other channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email, and other websites. Then there's conversion. According to HubSpot's State of Video Marketing in 2020 survey, 72% of customers say they would rather learn about a product or service by way of video than alternatives like text or infographics. And marketers who use video grew revenue 49% faster than non-video users. I'm going to let Michael close this section on why YouTube. Then we're going to take a closer look at how YouTube works. Here's my man.
What we want more than anything else is attention, and we want to be in front of people. And I'm here to tell you that people that watch your videos on YouTube will become the most loyal, fanatical followers that you will ever have in the world. They will be your super fans. They will be the ones that will buy every one of your products. They will carry you and your business to the next level. It's unbelievably powerful. And this is the thing. When you create these videos, this is the opportunity for you to impart knowledge to them. And when they begin to trust you and they begin to listen to you, they're going to begin to talk about you, they're going to begin to recommend you, and they will love you. And I'm here to tell you that YouTube is an incredible opportunity if you will take it.
Now, before creating any kind of strategy, you have to understand how YouTube works. Remember, the YouTube recommendation algorithm determines 70% of what people watch. And like Google, YouTube is also a search engine. But unlike Google, whose main goal is to send you somewhere else, YouTube wants to keep you on their platform. YouTube doesn't care about subscribers or views on other videos, it cares about engagement. So when recommending other videos, YouTube is really concerned with three main things: starts, watch time, and session duration. First, starts. What videos start the viewing session? Typically, these are the videos you see on the homepage, youtube.com, but they could also be videos that came up in a search result. Homepages are extremely personal. Everyone's is customized to the viewing habits. The more subscribers you have, the more engagement you have, the more likely your videos are to be seen on individual homepages. Next is watch time. The key is learning to capture and hold people's attention. And of course, assuming you can create engaging enough content to keep them watching, longer videos are going to produce longer watch times. So you've heard this before, longer is better. Session duration. How long do they stay on YouTube after watching a particular video? How does this video contribute to the overall viewing session? In other words, after watching your video, did they watch other related content? And if so, for how long? So the goal cannot cannot be to get people to go to your website, i.e. to leave YouTube. You need to encourage further watching, binging. Here's a tip. Use playlists to get people to watch one video after another to increase the viewing session time. Okay, so with all of that in mind, let's finally dive into strategy. This strategy is a combination of elements from a number of different sources, but mostly from Cannell, founder of Think Media. Sean's been helping purpose-driven content creators and entrepreneurs build their influence with online video since 2010 and has 1.4 million subscribers. He also wrote the #1 selling book, YouTube Secrets, the ultimate guide to growing your following and making money as a video influencer. So I'm pretty confident Sean knows what he's talking about. According to Sean, the best way to grow your YouTube channel and your influence is to create search-based niche videos around proven and profitable topics. And that philosophy is the basis for this strategy. There are 9 steps. Those 9 steps are: define your target audience, define your value proposition, identify your competition, create a positioning strategy, plan your content, create a content schedule, optimize your channel, create a growth strategy, create a PDP or personal development plan. Now, really, the point of me showing you all of this is to help you understand that creating a successful YouTube strategy and channel involves a lot of time and effort and dedication. So let's dive into the strategy. #1, you need to define your target audience. Here's Cannell.
You want to be clear on that. And the clearer and more specific you get on your target audience, the faster your channel will grow. Start small to get big. Sometimes we might feel like our target audience is too narrow. I've noticed that people usually make the opposite mistake. Their target audience is too wide, not too narrow. When you serve the smallest viable market possible and win, then you can start expanding, if you will, into a bigger market. So start small to get big. And #1, define your target audience.
So start with the narrowest niche market, then grow from there, because if you try to reach everyone,
you know, if you try and reach everybody, you'll end up reaching nobody.
Here's Michael Stelzner again.
It's far more important today to make a big impact on a small number of individuals than it is to make almost no impact on large numbers of individuals. We have to start by getting better at developing influence. And we as marketers need to be in the business of helping people, whether they are or whether they are not our customers. And when we can positively influence those people, they will give us the one thing that we need the most. What we need the most is attention, because that's what we are in the business of as marketers. And when we can provide value, get that attention, and they love what they're hearing, and it's helping them, they're going to become mini evangelists for us. And they're the ones that are going to help us accomplish all of our marketing objectives.
So you need to determine who you're already reaching, and very specifically, who you are trying to reach. #2, define your value proposition. Focus on intention.
What is the promise of your channel? You know, to succeed on YouTube, I believe you should make your audience a promise. What kind of content are you going to create? And when are you going to create it? I've made you a promise. My team and I, we've made you a promise. The best tips and tools for building your influence with online video.
Remember, we want to create search-based niche videos around proven and profitable topics. Create a tagline that communicates your promise. Here's an example from Sean's channel for Think Media. Their tagline is the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. #3, identify your competition. Who are they? Conduct a SWOT analysis to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats presented by each competitor. What's working for them and why is it working? How are they presenting their content? #4, create a positioning strategy.
Now, these final two tips is what makes the difference between average channels and truly great YouTube channels. And so number 5 is, what is your positioning strategy? How are you positioning yourself in the market specifically to be different? You know, there's a quote from Sally Hogstead. It said this, that if you want to win in business and life and in YouTube, I'm adding that, different is better than better.
Take those proven topics and be different. Determine how you're going to be different from the competition. Number 5, plan your content. Again, create content around proven topics and focus on intention. What is your content level intention? Focus on service, not selfish content. Make content for the viewer. Don't ever create content for yourself. You need to bring value to the viewer, not the creator. Examples include tips, tricks, and technique videos. Focus on engagement. Use analytics to determine who spends the most time watching your videos and optimize the content for those viewers. Be consistent. Create a unique and consistent style for your titles and thumbnails. Have a recognizable personality and post consistently. Have a schedule at least once per week. Follow the 80-20 rules. 80% SEO focused, 20% for value added unique content. 80% evergreen, 20% topical content. Optimize your content. Now this is the technical SEO stuff, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but there's a laundry list of tasks that need to be done before every video is published, and here it is. Number 6, create a content schedule. When will you deliver on your promise? Again, the suggestion here is at least once a week, and concentrate on quality over quantity. In other words, it's better to post 1 good video per week than 5 crappy ones. Number 7, optimize your channel. This is about branding and SEO, and I won't go into much detail here either, but here's the laundry list. Number 8, create a growth strategy. What is your plan for predictable growth and how will you measure it? And finally, number 9, create a PDP or personal development plan. What areas do you need to grow or improve in? What skills do you need to grow your channel? Some examples would be learning to use YouTube Analytics, vidIQ, Keywords Everywhere, and Google Keyword Planner. So that is the strategy in a nutshell, a big nutshell. Now at the beginning I told you I was going to try it all out and see if it works. So this is step 1 of creating my new YouTube channel with video tips and techniques for non-video professionals. Whether you want to grow your business with video marketing or you just want to get better at using video for internal communications, you've come to the right place because that's what I'll be talking about on this channel. So that's it. I'm going to wrap up with a final clip of Michael Stelzner from Social Media Marketing World 2019. Thanks for your time.
So we have one of two options. Option number 1 is to keep fighting these algorithms and justify our activities by absolutely meaningless vanity metrics, to essentially choose the gold chalice for those of you that have not seen this movie. Option number 2 is to choose an unfamiliar cup, something that might scare us, something that we're not sure about, but we're going to have to go down a path that most of us were not trained for. We're going to have to rethink the way that we do our marketing, and we're going to have to face some fears, and we're also going to have to battle with, in some cases, our bosses in order to be able to accomplish the next step. So, we have a choice. We can trade in that dusty old bag of tricks for an incredible treasure if we choose to go down this new path. And for those of you that are savvy, you probably realize there's one common thread through all of these things that I'm recommending, and that common thread is video. And that scares you. It's much like Indiana Jones facing this cobra. But I'm here to tell you the cobra doesn't bite. You have to give it a try. You have to look at this opportunity. Only 38% of you are doing anything with Instagram stories. Less than half of you are leveraging Facebook Live. and slightly more than half of you are doing anything with YouTube. So my question for you is, what path will you choose? Are you going to choose the golden chalice and keep doing what you've always done and just hope for the best? Or are you willing to step into something new and something scary, but something that has absolutely incredible opportunity? The choice is yours. Thank you very much.